Welcome to Baller Ballers, another show for you today. And on this show, I'm going to discuss the reported managerial shortlist of who will replace Amorim if he gets sacked. And I'm going to delve into a little bit of that. I'm going to show you the stats from the Man United and Brentford game, or Brentford and Man United, because as it was Brentford at home at the GTEC Stadium. So I'm going to discuss and go over that. And I'm also going to discuss my player ratings and who I thought was good and who I thought wasn't. So there's quite a lot to get through, and I'm also going to show you the league tables after the results of the weekend and where we are and who's on top and who's on the bottom. So I'm going to go over that too. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell to receive notifications of every time I upload a video, which is normally Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And now on a weekend, whenever United play, I'll be doing a video straight after it. So I'll be doing looking at 4 videos a week, and I have been doing that consistently lately. So I feel like it is something I can do. No false promises here. But I want to get into the managerial shortlist. So we have 3 candidates potentially who are interested in, well, not interested, but who United are interested in bringing across. Gareth Southgate, Oliver Glasner, and Andoni Iraola. Now, each manager is somewhat different to another. We got Gareth Southgate, who's more defensive, who's more boring. He's got that boring style, that slow style of play. I'm not sure how that will work out in the Premiership with the pace that the Premiership runs at, but he did take England to the World Cup semi-final and the European Championship finals. And the last time he was managing the club was Middlesbrough in 2009, but they got relegated. But he's more of a defensive kind of player. He's close friends with Ineos and Radcliffe, so he knows them really well. So I don't think his style suits United at all because it's more defensive. But at this point, I'm willing to try anything. And he's the only one not in a job at the moment, so he's got a high chance. And I think he's probably is the favourite to come across. I do want Oliver Glasner from Crystal Palace, who's on the shortlist as well. And he's taken Palace to FA Cup and the Charity Community Shield Cup finals and won them. Well, Community Shield isn't really a cup final, but you know what I mean. He's won the Community Shield and he's won the FA Cup with them. He's been undefeated in 18 games and he beat Liverpool yesterday. So at the moment, they're the only undefeated team in the Premier League. And he's done really well. And I would love to have him. He plays a similar 3 at the back, 4 in midfield, same as Amorim, but his philosophy is a lot more different. His system's a lot more different. Instead of playing 2 number 10s and 1 number 9, he plays 1 number 10, 2 number 9s. So in that sense, it is a little different, although he does seem to adapt whenever he can and make changes whenever he can. And even took Frankfurt to the UEFA European League final and won that too. So he's known to winning stuff. So he's personally my ideal choice. Do I see him leaving Palace? No, because why would I leave Palace? it's my point of view. Why would I leave Palace for United? Although I'm a United fan and United supporter, if I'm doing so well at Palace and I'm sitting where I am in the table and I'm undefeated and I'm doing really well and winning all these trophies, and why would I come across to United when it's so much work that needs to be done? And then we got Andoni Iraola, who's the Bournemouth head coach, and he's viewed as intriguing and exciting option for us. He's tactically adaptable, so he does like to adapt to whatever role he plays, and he's attack-minded as well, which appeals to us. And he plays a back 4, which does appeal to us. So to me, Iraola might be a long shot. Oliver Glasner might be a long shot. Gareth Southgate isn't. And I feel like if Amorim does take the jump, it will be Southgate. But Ineos have come out and said that we're not looking to get rid of him. We want to keep him till the end of the season. Now, whether they're saying that because they don't want to pay the 12 million if they're sacking before November is yet to be seen. Or will they sack him in November after they don't have to pay him that 12 million? Your guess is as good as mine. But I do think with United reluctant to sack him before November, and if they do, I reckon it'll be Gareth Southgate, just because he's good friends with Ineos. Man. Okay, so I'm gonna move on now to some stats. And the stats I'm gonna bring across to you are these. So this was the game on Saturday. Let me go back to the top. There you go. 3-1. Thiago scoring 2. Jensen scoring that 3rd. We scored in between with Sesko. Sesko getting off the mark, scoring his first goal. Now I'm going to go into the stats from the game. So if you're looking at the first half stats, Brentford had more possession, 51%. We had 49. We had a higher XG. We had more shots, and we had the same amount of shots on target. So they had 4 shots in the first half, and all 4 were on target, with 4 big chances created, and they scored 2 of them. And this was said by India, letting in 50% of all the big chances at him. And that's what I meant. We were equal on the passes, but they had more corners. They committed more fouls. I've already been over the XG briefly, but that's what it was in the first half. By the end of the game, it was a whole different story. We had more possession. Well, this is just the second half. So we had more possession in the second half. Expected goals were the same. They had more shots than us. They had more shots on target. They had more big chances in the second half, and that's really showed. We had more accurate passes than they did, but that didn't matter because we couldn't do nothing with it. And if I had to go for the full match now, I'm gonna combine the first half and the second half. We still had more possession. We had slightly higher XG, but only just. So XG was pretty much equal. Overall, we had 14 total shots and 6 shots on target and 4 big chances. They had 10 total shots, 8 shots on target and 6 big chances, and they scored 3 of them. We had more accurate passes than they did. They had more corners. But that is the stats. Make of that what you will. But on paper, it looks like it was even. But you watch the game, it didn't look like it was even. So that's where the problem is, because we're creating chances, we're just not finishing them. And we're conceding a lot of the big chances that we create. Well, the other team creates. And it's just shambles on that pitch. It's just absolutely soul destroying. And it absolutely winds me up. They were up 2-0 within 20 minutes. We had Bruno miss a penalty to make it 2-2, and the penalty would have been so decisive at that point. And we needed it. And then Matthias Jensen let loose, shot, scored, done. Game over. Now, I'm going to go into the player ratings and who I think was good and who I think wasn't, and who I think was my man of the match. Let's go with Buendia first. I rated Buendia 6.5 out of 10. He was abandoned by the defense, but he made saves that he shouldn't have had to make. And he kept us in the game. They could have gone 3 up, 4 up, 5 up. Could have been 6-7-1. By the end of it, they had that many opportunities, and Bayern was called in to make some saves. He had 5 saves and 1 punch. 5 saves, and that's why I had to give him 6.5. For me, he was one of 3 players, although, yes, some of the goals was probably his mistake. He should have done, well, not his mistake, but he should have done better with them. But you got no defense. What are you meant to do? We got Matthias de Ligt, and I give him 4 out of 10. He had 3 clearances and 88 pass accuracy, but he was weak and slow to react. He looked completely out of his depth on the flank of the back 3. He was run ragged, and he was totally inadequate. Need I say more? Harry Maguire's next. 2 out of 10. Our worst player on the pitch, in my opinion. He had 4 clearances. He had 2 tackles, but he was at fault for the first goal. He stepped to play, played Diago onside, and completely switched off. And it was an absolute liability that cost us the opening goal. And I was glad he was subbed off. Me personally, I think he plays better when he comes on as a sub, not when he's starting. Definitely not when he's starting. Luke Shaw, 5 out of 10. He had 1 block and 77 touches of the ball, but he was a passive member of a sinking ship. He was the best at the back 3. I'm not going to lie. He was the best at the back 3. He was better than De Ligt. He was better than Maguire when he played. But it doesn't mean much. They were just non-existent. Dalot, 4.5 out of 10. He ran a lot, but there was no end product. And his crossing was awful. He was invisible when we needed him to create chances. He had a quiet game. But he had 4 crosses attempted and 2 tackles won. So I'll give him the 4.5. Ugarte, 5.5 out of 10. He covered the ground well, but was completely overrun. He had no control in the midfield, and he didn't offer enough protection to the defense. And that's his job. He's meant to protect the defense and hold the ball up in midfield, but we had none of that. We had no. So for that reason, I'll give him 5.5, but he had 6 recoveries and 2 tackles. So I wouldn't say he was the poorest player on the pitch. So 5.5, I think, is fine. Now, a lot of people might agree and a lot of people might not. But the next one I'm looking at is Bruno Fernandes. 3 out of 10. Our second worst player on the pitch behind Harry Maguire. He missed a penalty that could have made it 2-2 and give us a chance, but it was a weak and easily saved effort. He's meant to be a captain, our leader, but he went missing when it mattered the most, and it's just unacceptable. But I can't always put the blame on him because he's playing out of position. But with Mbumo and Cunha in Bruno's position, he has to slot into that midfield position. So had to give him a 3. The next player is probably had a toss between Dorgu and another player that I'm going to mention a bit later as who would be the man of the match, who I thought was United's man of the match. Dorgu just missed out, but he actually showed some desire. He provided a cross for the goal. He was only one of 2 players on the pitch that looked like he actually cared about winning. He had 1 assist and 3 dribbles. But I'll give him a 7 out of 10. I was a bit upset about this one because I thought he would have done a lot better. Mbumo, he had 2 shots and he won the penalty, but he was inconsistent. And I don't know whether that is because it's his old team and it's Brentford, but he was inconsistent. He was too often drifting, but he did he seemed like he just couldn't be bothered sometimes, and he seemed like he was disconnected. He had no shots on goal, and he needs to do a lot better against his old club. So I'll give him a 5 out of 10 for that. Cunha, 4 out of 10. And now there's a reason why I give him 4 out of 10. And I said it in my video on Saturday. He was far too greedy. Shoot, shoot, shoot is all I saw. And yes, there's nothing wrong with trying, but he was blasting them from impossible angles when a pass was a better option. So he was selfish and wasteful. So I've given him a 4 out of 10. Now, my man of the match. Benjamin Sesko. 7 out of 10. Same rating as Dorgu, but he showed the fight that we needed. He didn't give up on the goal. He hammered it home in his third attempt, although he could have got it. He should have done a lot better. I should have got it in the second. But goalkeeper made some great saves. And that's the mentality the rest of the team lacked. It was good in the first half. And he got the goal to kick him up the ass. And we got him on the score sheet. He got himself on the score sheet. But I want to hear from you whether you agree with that or not. So if you do or not, let me know in the comments. And hit the like and share buttons too, and hit the subscribe. That's the important one. Now I'm going to go into the league table after yesterday's game. And that's where we stand with the league table. So yesterday, Arsenal beat Newcastle 2-1. They scored on the 84th minute, and I think in injury time, after Newcastle took a 34-minute lead. What was the Villa score? Did Villa draw? I think Villa might have drawn. Or did they win? No, they won 3-1. No, Villa won 3-1 against Fulham. Yep, I remember now. But Liverpool are top, even though they lost. They're still 2 points ahead of Arsenal, who was second. Crystal Palace are third, 3 points behind Liverpool. But Crystal Palace are doing well. Draw 1-1. The only team that's not lost the game. And Tottenham brings up the top 4. We got Sunderland, who we play on the weekend in 5th. And that's another game that I feel like we're going to lose. But that video's coming out on Thursday or Friday. Probably Friday. And we got Bournemouth bringing up the 6th place. The big teams, Man City, they won. Chelsea are 8th. They lost. Brighton are 9th. And we're all the way in 14th. If Newcastle had beat us, when Newcastle were beating Arsenal, they were up the table and we were 15th again. But we're 14th in the table. And I understand it's only 3 points between us and Man City, but I already feel like it's too late. You got Villa in 16th, Newcastle 17th, Burnley, West Ham, Wolverhampton, bringing up the bottom 3. West Ham now have a new manager. Graham Potter's been sacked, and they've got Nuno Santo. So it's not really looking good being in 14th. But we are. And that brings me to the end of the show. Hope you liked what I brought you today. Just chatting about different stuff. Player ratings, talking about the new managers potentially coming in, talking about the league tables or where we stand, just my views and opinions. And I'm still gutted, I'm still disappointed, and I'm still not happy that we didn't win. not much I can do about it. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. See you later.